Mythologically speaking, our first parents were twins. But does this mean that they are twins or even brother and sister in real life? We know from a spiritual perspective that Adam and Eve, like us all, are brothers and sisters, children of God the Father. But the real question is, were Adam and Eve brother and sister physically? Were they physically fraternal twins? The scriptures are clear that Adam was physically the son of God, a product of procreation. Eve likewise must have been a progeny of God the Father since, as Joseph Smith explained, that is the only way the creation of life can happen. This can only mean that Adam and Eve were brother and sister, receiving their physical bodies from the same Father. Neither the scriptures or the prophets, to our knowledge, address the question of Adam and Eve being twins. Symbolically, they are twins, but this does not always translate into literal reality. The original purpose for delving into the mythic archetype of the twins was to explain the practice of dexiosis, or the sacred hand clasp. Adam and Eve provide a good starting point. Adam and Eve are a classic example of the mythic twins. Numerous representations show the couple standing opposite and facing each other as the mythic archetype requires. But there is more to the archetype and the representations. The twins motif is normally centered on the story of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, where Eve first partakes of the fruit and then offers it to Adam. The story presents a couple with a central figure, the tree with a serpent entwined around the trunk. The tree and the snake are based upon the axis mundi, which became the world tree, and a writhing serpent pole. The axis mundi was part and parcel of the twins' archetype. It formed the bodies of the twins as well as the central tree or serpent. For Eve to partake of the fruit of the tree, she had to extend her hand towards the tree. The biblical terminology for this act would have been to put forth the hand. Adam was forbidden to put forth his hand towards the tree of life, another form of the world tree. For Eve to give the fruit and for Adam to accept it, both of them must have extended their hands to each other, or, in other words, towards the center. While this mosaic representation does not include the fruit itself, many others do. Adam and Eve grasp the fruit, forming a circular enclosure around it. Each hand takes the form of a crescent, a diminutive echo of the crescents that form Adam and Eve themselves. This follows the original pattern, where the crescent rotates around a center point, two nested orbs, and forms a protective circular enclosure. The nested orbs, as we have explained before, are Mars within Venus. It is the red planet's color that is the origin of the red color of the fruit. After all, Mars was the apple of the eye of Venus, as David Talbot explains. The apple of the eye archetype is mentioned several times in the Old Testament.